YouTube was good. Let's go over these charts. Let's try to do some charting real quick. All right, the ES. ES is down overnight. Market's so weird. I wish we had this move yesterday. I drew this trend line last night, and they've been respecting it. They've been respecting it all night. So this right here is another area of support. I'm gonna see if they're gonna bounce off this area. High, low, lower, low. Can we come back up here to push back up to the upside? So we're gonna see. All right, I just alerted my group that I'm on live. Okay, let's chart out the SPY. So I'm about to get the pre-market high and the pre-market low. Go to extended hours. All right, mark out the high and the low. And then let's go to the daily time frame. PDH, previous day high. All right, so I got that level. Just guess we break that high, try to come up here and attempt that again. But we gapping down about $3 right now. So I'm about to chart out my levels like I do every morning on SPY. Let me bring in the average true range. Okay, so we got a daily close on the SPY at 748, 28 cents. ATR. It's $8.31. All right, so let's do that math. So we're gonna do 748 plus $8. All right, bet. So if they want to start getting bullish, they can get as high as 756.59. All right, so they can try to come up here if they decide to break out. 748.28, 748.28, subtract 8.31. If they get bearish, they can fall as low as 739. 739. I mean, yeah, 739. $0.97. All right, so we got a 2 up. Got a 2 up on a day. So this is a put entry on a daily. If they decide to trigger it, put entry daily. And then they can try to attempt to take out this low price target on a daily. Gonna clone that. Take out that next low. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. What do we got on the 4 hour? Got an inside candle on the 4 hour. That 4 hour candle was so choppy yesterday. Like, it was very low volume. We're stuck inside of a doji on the monthly on the ES, and it is brutal. It is brutal. We're in a place to where, like, the market is so wedged, like, it's crazy. So you got, I just, like, for me, I'm just playing like lighter on my position size, just because we need to break some ranges. We need to break the weekly range, the weekly high, the weekly low. We need to break the high of last month's range. And it's, I mean, it's so, that last month's range, which is June, is such a wide range. And yeah, it's what's going on, bro? It's such a tight range that we need to break. Like, this month is an inside month. This month is an inside month, so we need to break the high and the low to really get busy. And eventually we will, right? It's not going to stay like this forever. It's just not going to do it. All right, so we got a 4 hour call entry. So inside candles, you get a signal to get in for calls and puts for inside candles. Inside candles are 1 candles. Price target 4 hour. Oh, let's go back. And we just try to take out the next highs just in case they try to get bullish. So these are your 4 hours price targets. If they just decide to get bullish, we got the levels. These are the targets along the way. And I like to alert those. Okay, we have a 4 hour gap close right here at 7:45. 4 hour gap close. Where are you? There you go. All these levels matter. All right. The 1 hour, we had a 3 count on the 1 hour. We're not about to do that one. So it's daily levels and 4 hour levels on this. All right, let's go over Qs. Now, first thing I like to do, like I said, let's go ahead and mark the pre-market levels. Go to extended hours. All right, we got the pre-market high, pre-market low, which is the London session. I marked the pre-market highs right here so I can know, because these levels are going to react, right? We want to see if we're going to break below or break above these levels. Pre-market low, pre-market high. Back test that, you'll see that you get some good price action at those levels. All right, let's take it off extended hours, because if you don't, you won't get the original levels from yesterday. All right, so let's do the math on this. Bring back in the ATR, average true range. All right, so yesterday's daily close is at 708. 708, 97. And the ATR is $14.87. All right. So the math is 708, 97 cents plus $14.87 gives us 723. So we can get as high as 723. 84. All right, for the downside, 708. 97 cents. Subtract $14. 87 cents. We can fall as low. If they get bearish, we can fall as low as 694 and 10 cents. And so ATR daily range, average true range. Okay, so we got a 2 up. So that's a put entry on the daily. Daily put entry. And then I like to try to just chart within that range, within that average true range. I don't like to really chart outside of that because these are daily ranges. And try to take out that low. That's a price target of $6.95 and 50 cents. They could get that low. Anything is possible. There's no guarantees in the market. If you know, you know. Just the market can do whatever it wants. Let's go down to the 4 hour. What we got on the 4 hour? Okay, we got a fail 2 up on the 4 hour. So this is a put entry on the 4 hour. And we're definitely about to, as of right now, look like we're set to gap lower. So this is a 4 hour gap fill right here at 705. I want to say they're going to bounce back to try to close some of this gap back to the pre-market highs. If they bounce out the pre-market lows, they might try to push it back up to the pre-market highs. So 1 hour. Inside candle. If they decide to push back up on the hour, this will be the entry for the hour. $7.09. Got a 1 hour gap right here. One hour price target. Right there. All right, so let's go over Google. Let's go over Google. Google. Got a pre-market high at 350. Pre-market low, 347. While we're here, let's go ahead and mark the pre-market high and pre-market low for Tesla. And I'm interested to see like how this Tesla starts to close. So I might alert my group on a lotto with Tesla and Google just depending on how the daily is going to close, how the daily candle ends up towards like 10 minutes before the market close. So I might not play it intraday unless it's showing me a really good setup. All right, let's turn off the extended hours. All right, let's go back to Google. Chart that. All right, we got a 2 down. Matter of fact, let's get the, oh. Write this down on my paper. Google. Got a daily close at 347. 15 cents, an ATR of $11.29. All right. 347, 15 cents plus $11.29. All right. So they can get as high as 358 if they want. Make sure y'all check out my video too with the about how to save your own templates. That's how I'm able to blaze through these levels like I am. 347.15. Subtract $11.29. Yeah, once you save your template once, it's time consuming to do it, you know, at one time to make all of them. But once you do it, it's locked in forever. 335, 86 cents. All right, so if they want to get bearish, they can get as low as 335. All right, so we got a 2 down, so we got a call entry right here to the upside on the daily if they decide to get bullish. All right, so this next high is past the ATR, so I'll still mark it. I try not to do that, but I'll still mark it just in case they get really bullish. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. 2 down on the 4 hour. Call entry right there. So 2 downs, we have call entries. $349. Okay, mark this high. This is the next high right here. 4 hour price target. PT 4 hour. And the next high is going outside of that. So let's go to the 1 hour. I already got 3 candle on the 1 hour. I don't do 3 candles on those levels. All right, so this is what we have. These are the levels for Google. Didn't really have any put entries on it, but let's do this. Previous day low, mark the bottom of that candle. So PDL. So if they break that, you know that's the previous day low, and they could try to come take out this low right here. All right. Let's see. That's Monday. That's Monday's low. Let's put Monday. All right. So in alert, just in case they get bearish. Okay, let's do Tesla. Tesla, we already marked those. We got an inside day. Okay, so we got an inside candle, which is a 1 candle. And they got call entries to the upside and the downside. Why every time my average range indicator keep going off the screen when I switch tickers? Hey, when it does that. Okay. So we got a close on Tesla. All right, the close is at 378.93 cents. The ATR, average true range, $16.73. All right, let's do our math. 378.93. Okay, so if they get bullish, they can get as high as 395. Go to coordinates. 395. $378.93, subtract $16.73. Okay, so if they want to, they can get as low 362.20 cents. Boom. Okay, so we got to put entry because we got an inside candle, right? So I always remember put entries for the inside candles and call entries, right, to the upside. So we're looking for a break of the daily high of this candle and the daily low. So a break to either side, they can really flow in that direction. And I try to go for the next low. So this is the next high. So it's boom right here. I'm going to be technical. This is the next high. Okay, Tesla just alerted me. They're moving in the pre-market. So I got to make sure I adjust my pre-market levels. And this is a daily gap fill right here on the daily. Fair value gap right there. Google is moving too. So I got to adjust those pre-market levels because I got an alert from Tesla and Google. Okay, let's go to the 4 hour. What we got? Same thing, inside candle on the 4 hour. Now they already negating this, but we're going to mark it anyway. Put entry 4 hour. Got to call entry on the 4 hour just in case they get back bullish. We know the levels. 4 hour call entry right there. This is a high price target, 4 hour price target, PT 4 hour. All right, they pretty much already got all the levels marked. 1 hour, same thing on the 1 hour. 1 hour fair value gap close be right there at 389. And then there's a gap close on the 1 hour right here to the downside. Okay. So the pre-market low has adjusted, and I need to adjust. Okay, Google, what you doing pre-market? Okay, they just dropped a little lower. Now, some people like to draw a box. So on the pre-market, some people like to draw a box from the body of the candle in the wick. So if there's a little space, some people like to do this as like a zone. And so you could do this if you want to trade just off just that. So if it's bouncing off the zone or rejecting off the zone or breaking below and rejecting off the zone or breaking above this pre-market high and that support, and then you can mark that as a zone and it can go higher. But me, I try not to. I already have a lot on my screen, so I try not to do that if I don't have to. Unless I'm just like want to have less lines on my screen. Okay, so AMD is gapping down. That up move was so unnecessary yesterday on the market. I don't care what nobody say. They upgraded these stocks for no reason, man. I mean, they could not, like that daily candle before that, they was so bearish, and for them to gap it up the way they did was annoying. But let's go ahead and try out AMD. This will be my last one I tried out because I gotta go live with my class. With my group. AMD, we got a daily close at 544, 43 cents. ATR, $37.47. All right, so if they get bullish, they can come as high as 581. Damn, that'd pretty much be at all-time highs if they do that today for AMD. All right, if they get bearish, they can fall as low as 506. All right, we got a 2 up, so you got to put entry right here on the daily. And you got a daily fair value gap that's a little bit outside of the ATR, but we're going to mark it anyway, just in case. It might be an eventful day. Four-hour, 2 up. They already triggered that, but they're already gapping it down. This would have been a put entry for the 4-hour. But this is 4-hour gap fill to the downside. Okay, we got a fill 2 down on the hour. So just in case they get back bullish on the hour, this will be the call entry. And then you try to take out these next highs, our price targets. There go your price targets along the way, just in case they get bullish. Alrighty. Oh, there's a gap fill right here on a 1 hour. Good eye. Okay. So these are my pre-market levels. For AMD. Oh, let me do. I forgot. I almost forgot. Let's mark the pre-market high and pre-market low. We need to know that. That's very, very important. Those are big buy and sell orders at those levels. Big institutions. Okay. All right, man. I see y'all on the stream. If y'all want to join the Discord, click that link in the bio, man. See y'all on the next.